Fish sticks might bring back school lunch memories, but we still think they have serious dinner potential. So which frozen fish sticks bring that craveable crunch and that fresh, flaky fish? Let's put it to the taste. Welcome to the Taste Test, the show where our reviews team goes above and beyond tasting ingredients so you can make smart decisions when you shop. Joining me today is Joe Gitter, Senior Editor at America's Test Kitchen. Joe, welcome.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
I'm so excited that we're going to taste fish sticks together. If you're like me, you grew up with fish sticks only being served in school cafeterias, and my impression of them was always bad. I think they weren't very good fish sticks, now that I think about it. Do you have any memories of fish sticks? And do they even have them in England?
Yeah, they absolutely have fish sticks, but they're not called fish sticks, they're called fish fingers.
Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about fish having fingers, but okay.
Well, they look exactly like the fish sticks, but like I love them. I mean, they're amazing. Like for years, it was the only fish I would eat.
Really?
But they're amazing. Like when they're good, they're crispy, they're crunchy, they're mild and delicate, and when they're really good, they taste just a little bit of fish, but not too much.
Ah, okay. So like the crunchiness is what you like, the batter,
The crunch,
and then a little bit of the fish flavor.
Exactly, but my all-time favorite use of them is a fish finger butty. So it's
Why
white
is it called
bread,
a buddy?
white bread and butter.
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 Okay,
And
that's the buddy part.
Bread can't be toasted, and you can put a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of tartar sauce if you want, but the pure version should just be white bread, butter, fish sticks, butter, white bread.
Butter on top of a fried thing. I'm kind of loving that whole idea. Like I never really thought of it, but I'm down for that. Our reviews team went out and got 5 national brands and really looked for ones that were available everywhere in the country. This is like convenience food, deliciousness. We want something that we can keep in the freezer and pull out when we want something like a fish buddy or a fish taco or just a couple fish sticks. And so we're gonna taste those today and see what we think.
Fantastic. Can't wait to tuck in.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Freshly caught.
These look a little skimpy. They look like fingers.
You're right.
They have some nice spotty brownness, which I really like in my fried food, and they feel like they're pretty well coated and they feel crisp.
They do. They feel nice and crisp. They're not super greasy, and they feel really nice. Yeah, let's try these.
Let's taste them.
Huh.
Okay, that is, for me, definitely a pleasant experience eating it. Mm-hmm. The batter's just a little bit too thick. So it's enjoyable, but it's not elevated. It's not going to take you to that next level. Like that's a really delicious fish stick.
It's not bad though.
That's true.
I'm going to try it with a little tartar, see how that holds
let's
up.
add some seasoning. You know what?
Yeah.
With the sauce, that's really enjoyable.
Yeah.
There's lovely lovely texture contrast, particularly with the cold sauce. It's nicely seasoned with that too.
Yeah.
I would really enjoy that. Standalone, it could do with a couple of improvements.
It needed a little help with that tartar sauce. It definitely made a difference.
How do you find the texture of it?
I noticed the crispy coating.
Yep.
I'm not noticing the fish so much, but it's actually like not unpleasant, and when you have it with the tartar sauce, it all comes together really well.
That's right.
Let's find out what this is. What do you think?
Tell me.
All right. So these are Gorton's fish sticks. This is their classic, their original version.
Okay.
They say right on the front they're made from minced fish, and this is minced pollock. Pollock is a pretty mild fish. It resembles cod. So minced fish, it sounds awful, but basically what they do is they use a machine to take the skin and bones off the fish, and the fish does get broken up in that way. And then they press it together into a big slab, freeze that, and then carve off the pieces for the fish sticks, bread them, and cook them. So our tasting panel actually highly recommended these. They said that they were mild and sweet and impressively crispy, and they really felt that it tasted like the classic fish sticks they grew up with. Yeah, I can't really argue with that. They are kind of standard fish sticks.
Totally. As a child, I would totally eat those.
Yeah, I know. I was very impressed by how good they tasted with the tartar sauce. So.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Really lovely texture and a good flavor.
Yeah, let's try another one. These look bigger.
These are much meatier, much chunkier. This is the sort of size that I think I would want for a fish stick.
Yeah, like actual fish in there. We hope it's not like more than half breading.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, particularly something like a fish taco. This would go really well, I think.
Yeah, and they're a little bit irregular. This one's much bigger than this one.
Yep.
Which makes them maybe seem a little more homemade.
I think that's right. Yeah, and the coating itself It's a little irregular, which maybe that's nice, maybe it's not. I guess we'll only really be able to tell that once we taste them.
Whoa, look at that nice flake in
Oh,
there.
that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it actually has
that.
like a flake to it. It's not minced for sure.
Right, this just looks like well-cooked, moist, whole fish.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
This is making me feel very positive about this sample. Interesting. There's a very good crunch to it, but it's a little tough.
Yeah.
So I feel like once I bite, it's hard to get my teeth through that coating.
Yeah, you get like a slab of hot breading, and the fish is in there too, but it's not together.
Right, and then the fish itself, the flavor, it's a little metallic.
It's, to me, a little bland.
Yeah, with a little bit of fishiness as well. I had really high expectations for this one. Right, let's try it. Let's try it with some tartar sauce. Interesting. It doesn't really rescue it. The previous one, it really elevated that example, the Gortons. This one, I feel like it's actually making it taste more extreme. I don't know. It doesn't come together as like a cohesive whole.
Compared to even the minced one of the previous sample, you'd expect a little more from this because you see flakes.
Right, exactly. Like we were excited.
Yeah.
And then we were a little let down.
Yeah, a little bit let down. Want to find out what it is?
Yeah, tell me.
So this is Pacific seafood fish sticks. So these are panko breaded, but they're also gluten-free panko. So it's got a slightly different formulation. It's good for people who can't eat wheat.
Yep.
But it did present a little bit of a problem with that coating, I think. I'm
Right.
not sure if it's the panko or the other ingredients to make it a crispy coating, but it was a little tough, I thought. It's also wild caught, peanut-free, soy-free, egg-free, dairy-free, wheat-free. To me, it's almost like let's judge it a little separately. I don't think it's my favorite, and I'm not have any of those dietary restrictions, so I'm not in love. What about you?
With that one? Yeah, I think so as well. For me, it's the flavor and the texture. It just didn't hit.
Yeah, our tasting panel agreed with us. They recommended these with reservations. They said the flavor was fine, not too salty, not too fishy. The coating was the drawback, and it was for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are definitely on the smaller size. They kind of remind me of the first sample. Very similar size to that.
Yeah, that's true. They're nice and golden all over.
Very golden. They feel very crispy, at least on the tops and the bottoms.
Yeah.
The sides a little softer.
Huh, okay. It looks like they're minced again.
It looks minced fish again, right? That little slab of fish.
Yep, but it's all the way, there's no gaps. It looks pretty good.
Yep, very beautiful. Feels like there's a good ratio of fish to coating. That's really good.
Yeah.
This really reminds me of the first sample.
Yeah.
Tastes almost identical. Sweet, clean fish flavor, very crispy coating, good balance of flavors. That feels like a really well-constructed fish stick that tastes great. If I was gonna add a wish list, just a little bit bigger, a little bit more fish, I think.
Yeah. Want to find out what this is?
Tell me.
All right. Van de Kamp's fish sticks.
I like these.
Yeah, me too. It says it's made from minced fish. And again, here it's pollock, so minced pollock, very much like the first one, as you said.
Yes.
The ingredients list is moderately long, but a lot of it is kind of what's in the flour. It's enriched with various vitamins. It's minced pollock, and here it says it's wild caught, which is very nice. It's got a little bit going on in the breading, but I think the right things.
The balance of flavors is actually great.
Yeah.
You know, this for me is up there.
The tasting panel says impressively crispy breading, crunchy. The inside was soft with faint sweetness. Some tasters wanted more fish presence overall, which I think we would agree with.
Yep, I think that's right.
Yeah, but it's overall, I think, a pretty decent fish stick.
100%.
And
if I saw these in the store, I would absolutely buy these again.
yeah, that's kind of nice. I think that it's a nice basic fish stick.
Totally.
These are from very small fish or something.
These are like little pinky fingers.
Pinky fingers.
They feel very crispy.
Yes.
Very dry, like maybe little mini drumsticks.
Drum.
I mean, I feel like as a kid, I would be like, oh yes, please. It's almost like a French fry.
Yeah, it's really crispy, really, really firm. I hope there's fish in there. Let's find out. Whoa, very minced.
Very minced.
Kind of brown, like tan.
Yeah.
Not white.
It doesn't look clean, but the coating is very thin and crisp.
Yeah.
I've got a preponderance to really enjoy these, I think.
Yeah.
And there's something very appetizing about them, even though they don't look very fish sticky. Good texture, but the flavor is really
Way
off. Like
off.
it tastes sweet, very sweet, but not in a sugary way, in like
No.
a glucosey way.
Yeah.
Almost like a caramelized sugar sort of way.
Yeah, like there's something way off about the fish part, and I'm putting the fish in air quotes.
Yep.
The crunching, like the coating, is like, ooh, oh. You get to that middle part and you're just, to me, it's just sort of sad. I don't know if tartar sauce would help either.
No, should we try?
Yeah.
This might be more of a ketchup candidate.
Oh yeah, well, probably.
No, I mean, it's good tartar sauce, but not a good fish dip.
All I taste is breading and tartar. It does not taste like a fish shake.
No. Now there's, the lack of fish in this is really pushing me away from this.
Yeah, let's find out what this is. It's called Highliner Fisher Boy.
Okay.
And I question whether this kid went fishing. I'm going to look at the ingredients because
Yes.
I'm really curious. Okay.
That's an enormous ingredient list.
Yeah, it's bigger than the fish sticks for sure. It's like half the box. And it has multiple kinds of fish in it. So it has pollock, but also has haddock, cod, and sole, which is just, I don't know, that's too much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love them now. As a kid, I might have enjoyed them. I don't think I'd serve them to mine.
Yeah, same. I mean, maybe the crunchiness would distract people from the fact that
Yep.
the fish is not very delicious. One of the things I was wondering about with this, the sweetness we detected, I'm seeing that there's 30 grams of total carbs, 3 grams of sugar, 2 grams of added sugar. So this is like they're really piling on the sweetness, and maybe that's to counteract the fishiness.
Yeah.
The fish smell and taste was not great.
Right.
And that's really sad.
I think we detected that it was trying to mask something else, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, they nailed that coating. If they could just get
Really
some,
did.
maybe settle on one kind of fish and give a little more of it.
Totally should.
Yeah. So let's find out what our panel said.
Yes.
So they described them as stingy little things, very skinny, which we would totally agree.
Yep.
And said that they didn't really like the flavor of the fish, that it was a strong off flavor, kind of oily, and the blended fish taste overwhelmed the tasters. They
Yes.
just weren't fans. So I would agree. I think we're right in with the panel there. Not
think so.
recommended. Don't
Yep.
buy these.
Okay, happy to follow that advice.
Yes.
So these are rather pretty looking fish sticks.
They are. They're kind of golden and plump, and they're very more or less uniform. I mean, they don't look fake, but they're pretty much the same size.
That's right. Nice golden color, a little bit of spotty brown.
Yeah.
They don't feel super crunchy or crispy to me.
Yeah.
They feel a little soggy, which the crumbs themselves are crisp, but the batter itself feels a little softer. Let's tear them open. Ooh, this looks like fresh fish. I
Oh,
see like a
nice.
big flake of fish there.
Yeah. No, I've got some real fish there too. It's not minced.
Smells good. Smells really good, actually.
Ooh, yeah.
That smells like really freshly cooked fish.
Yeah, it's the smell of like going into a good fish and chip shop.
Uh-huh. The flavor's there. I mean, the interior of the fish, this is the best fish I've had all day. The coating, it's a little soggy in places,
Yeah.
which I'm a little bit disappointed in, but the fish itself tastes so good that I can live with that.
I like the taste of the coating though. It's got little crispies on the outside, and it's a little bit sweet, but in a good way.
Right, exactly. It all feels coherent. There's no like odd sweet flavors.
Yeah. And the fish piece looks like a respectable size.
And with the tartar sauce, I lose any of my reservations with the crisp coating. So this might be my favorite one so far.
I would buy these. I really like these.
100%. All right, tell me what they are.
All right. Here we are.
Gorton's
This is
again.
Gorton's again, but this one uses whole fish, not minced. And it's also pollock. It's wild caught Alaskan pollock. It uses panko breadcrumbs, which is interesting because they are a little pebbly and flaky.
If I were to make these at home, from scratch, I think they'd taste relatively similar.
Yeah.
And for me, the big win is just the quality of the filling itself, the fish itself.
Yeah. So let's see what the panel thinks.
Tell us.
Highly recommended.
They loved it.
And we actually really agreed with the panel throughout.
100%.
I'm kind of impressed. Yeah, it's a co-winner with the other Gortons, which was a minced version and their sort of classic original version. I think this is an attempt to kind of elevate the form a little bit.
Yeah.
Tasters really loved the moist, flaky fish. It wasn't paste-like, and just found it clean, mild, and really nicely seasoned, which I think we would agree.
Yeah. It seems like they just got great fish, that's fresh, and that's served very well.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. I actually would go out and buy this, keep some in my freezer.
100%.
We had one more to taste here.
Okay, these look very different. They look gorgeous.
Yeah, they're big.
They're big, they're meaty, they're very crunchy, they're not oily, they feel super substantial. Like, just from the heft, I can tell there's a lot of fish in them. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, big flakes of fresh fish.
Yeah.
These look great.
Yeah, let's try them.
Oh, wow. What are these? These are fantastic.
True confession, these are our ATK recipe for homemade fish sticks. And they're so simple. You can make them in the air fryer.
Yes, I made them before.
Yeah, no, these are great, right?
But these are so good.
Super crunchy, big pieces of fish. These are also made of haddock, which is, you know, my favorite fish, honestly.
Beautifully flaky, very meaty.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing quite beats freshly cooked fish.
Very easy to make, and you can find the recipe on our ATK app. But if you want to keep a bag of something in the freezer, so when you're, you know, really pressed for time, or you're tired, or you just want them because you like them, there's some really decent commercial brands that you can buy.
100%. There's sometimes you just need to open a packet, throw it in the oven, and then you've got dinner on the table. And those are really acceptable versions.
So we made it. We ate all the fish sticks.
All of the fish sticks.
Which were your favorites and least favorites?
Okay, so Gorton's, absolutely, they were my favorite. And actually, the Van de Kamp's, that actually, to me, tasted pretty much the same as the Gorton's minced fish. And then the other two, I would leave those at home.
I could really see buying either of the Gortons or the Van de Kamp, which I thought was very equivalent. And I didn't think that the minced fish really took away from it.
That's really surprising. I really would have thought whole fish would be a much better product, and actually it's the quality of the fish rather than exactly how it's processed.
Yes, it really didn't matter as much as we thought. And my childhood trauma over fish sticks is healed. I actually really like these. And so I'm probably gonna buy some, you know? I actually am gonna take it back what I said about fish sticks in the beginning. I like them now.
Okay, Lisa, before I go, I think I have to make you my fish butty.
Absolutely, I have to have this. I'm psyched, I need to know.
Well, the secret is very well softened butter, really normal white bread, smear it on pretty thick, and then we place our fish fingers. I think we're gonna go 4. There we go. Slice this across for you.
Ooh, okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
We should be adding this recipe to the app.
Yes, we should.
Oh my goodness. You can't improve on this. It's so simple. It is so good. Unbelievable. So here's the ATK Reviews team's official results. Not recommended, Highliner Fisher Boy fish sticks. Recommended with reservations, Pacific Sustainable Seafood gluten-free panko breaded fish sticks. Recommended, Van de Kamp's fish sticks. And highly recommended are co-winners, Gorton's fish sticks with minced fish and Gorton's fish sticks with whole fillets. For the full rankings, results, and reasons to buy or not, check out the story on our ATK app.